Still chasing him after he got stabbed. Pulled out the gun twice, didn't use it, and then pulled the taser out, tased him.
Yeah, that never would have been us. Oh my God.
And when I see stuff like that, it's just like, but okay, so when we start to look at the bigger grand scheme of things, because, you know, when it comes, now I remember somebody, when I was trying to get I don't know, a job all the way out like in Reading, PA or something like that, and one of the guys, he came up to me and he just let me know. I had another situation when I went to Prospect Park and tried to get a bartender job, and I was like, yeah, I want to get a job. And the chick was like, I don't think that this is derogatory, but she was like, yeah, tell Tom there's a pretty little colored girl that wants to get hired here. I started laughing. You want to know why I laughed?
C-word.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what is this, 1942? But the reason why she said it, she didn't mean no malice with it. They're just backwards down there, and that's just what she thought was correct to say. She probably was trying to dance around so many different names. African-American, black, colored. I don't know. She's one of these. She might be mixed. Who knows? Oh, I had blonde hair at the time. You couldn't tell who I was. But anyway, but yeah, these certain situations, I was going to finish. But yeah, I'm always going off on a tangent.
All right, good.
But as far as a lot of the stuff that's going on, you know, I hear good and bad. So since I travel a lot, I actually met somebody literally probably like three years ago and lost contact. And he called me. He's like, hey, I just wanted to steal your number. So anyway, he's going back and forth, literally paragraphs worth of stuff about the Democrats and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And just being devil's advocate, I want to see, because I'm sorry, at least speaking to him, he actually comes back with facts. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Whereas most people just come back with, I just don't like how Donald Trump talks. Okay, so then, all right, well, just use your common sense and your rationale. Like, why is literally everybody hating him? There must be something he's going against.
Right.
Because, sorry, when you get to that level, it's typically something you're going against versus really that you're that corrupt. Because if you were really that corrupt, I don't know if you would, but everybody's corrupt. So I don't know. But for me... And some of the things.
Such thing as an honest politician.
Yeah, that's true.
At all.
Well, you got to get dirty with something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we know that that's it. Now, here's the thing about Donald. The fact that he's been around all of these snakes and vipers, and nobody thought that he was really going to do anything. And let's be real, I don't even think that he really wanted to be president.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did either. Yeah,
okay. So and I think if him putting pen to all, like, it's so obscure or so, he was like, this is the Tea Party. Nobody's going to like. He's like, man, we could do this. It's a whole unspoken group of people that haven't been spoken to and been suppressed for almost 30 years. So the only thing they've been focusing on is just mostly the middle class, and being politically correct and all these different things. But he ended up getting into office. So then he's like, okay, well, I guess we're going to go to business. You know, so when you start to speak about the globalization, which is what the Democrats and any Republican that's been in league with that agenda has done for like the last basically all my life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So then it makes you get a question. Okay, it's like, okay, so if we had Hillary in office, how much better do you think it would have been? Oh, tons better. No, it would have been calmer. You wouldn't have known what was going to happen. But I definitely, with the vaccines and stuff like that, because she's with Bill Gates, I think personally that they were going to, it would have been a free for all. They would have, they got a bill 6666. You see that one? Where they can walk up into your house and take you out, and they did that under the radar. There's another bill that they did like under the radar to get it through. There's a lot of bills and stuff that's going on. And mind you, the first 2 to 3 months, because I've been asleep myself, but even probably about a year, I was like, why is everybody hating on Trump? Like, it just make you question. But the problem is, I'm in my little hole, and I'm doing everything that I have to do as far as keep myself together, so I can't ask these questions. I can't research. I can't do that. Now, it look like you two are sitting up here want to say something, so you can if you want. Okay.
No, go ahead.
Like, yeah. So I don't care if you're for Trump or against him. The only thing that I want you to have when at least respond when you respond to me is just have a valid reason on why. Don't let it be anything from the mainstream media, because I'm just going to be like, okay, so obviously you haven't researched, you haven't done anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's far, but then when you start to look at Putin and how he got into office and what's going on with the technocrats and this oligarchy mess, and there's so much There's so many moving parts and so many forces working right now. It's hard to really comprehend to even know what's going on. Because even sometimes, but now because of now, see, right now, as far as the last 2 months, I don't know if I want to believe anything, especially when it comes to conspiracy theories on the internet. Because a lot of they've been pushing me conspiracy theories now, and I could tell. I never looked up anything.
They throw them Jones in there. Oh my goodness.
Well, listen, I definitely was all about
algorithms.
Yeah,
it ain't gonna matter.
Yeah, I definitely was all about the. I was definitely all about the.
QAnon.
No. Well, actually, it was so funny. I actually was getting a lot of information. Then I sent it to something. He's like, "Yeah, that was that QAnon." I was, who was that? So then I had to look up this Q, and I was spelling it wrong, obviously, because I didn't know it was Q. or whatever. Anyway, I looked it up and got into it. A lot of it is really, you could tell, it's a lot of propaganda, a lot of rhetoric, more propaganda than anything else, which is fine because I could comprehend through it, but a lot of people can't. So you see how powerful it is.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been issues. What did y'all? It's the new movie with the Social Dilemma. Did y'all see that?
The Social Dilemma?
Yeah, that's on Netflix.
No, I didn't see it.
That's trying to tell you. It's telling you about social media and the power that it has.
I didn't see it, but I saw it pop up on Netflix, but I didn't actually see it yet.
Yeah. So. And all the whistleblowers that's coming out. Also, when you start to look at Africa, BBC, the news that they're getting, watching Turner Point, watching Breitbart, like I'm watching so much for at least 2 months. I just was crazy about it.
You all in? I ain't all this.
No, because
I ain't doing all that.
But you want to know why? One, this is something that's going to affect our lives. It's a big moment in history, really, really big moment in history.
I will agree.
And so for me, it makes me curious as far as like what's going on, So
I don't think we're getting all the information anyway, though.
We're not.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I follow some of the stuff, but I don't honestly believe we're getting all the information. So it's like, what am I going to believe and what not? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, as far as like Trump talking about fake news, but a lot of stuff is like, what am I supposed to believe and what am I supposed to follow? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, I'm not the most political person, but I know when I do think of like, I ain't all behind Biden and all his policies and everything either, but I know with Trump, from one thing I do know in that aspect is I do believe he's causing a divide in our country. You know what I'm saying? And it's just with all this racial injustice, which we've been going through forever anyway. But I think he's giving a lot of people be emboldened to, like, just the, not saying the person read and said color, but somebody might come up to you and really be like, and really say the N-word at you and don't care about it. I think he's giving them a lot of leeway to be like, okay, I'm bold enough to come and say it to you, to your face. And I don't like that. From that, like I said, I'm not most political, but I do know I don't like how he's causing this divide.
I think part of the divide is more about power than it really is about him ever being racist. And has he emboldened few people? Yes, I do. But on top of that, I like it because now you can't tell me racism is over. You see what I'm saying?
I understand that.
Okay.
That's true.
They put a lot
to the forefront.
Well, they put a lot of people to sleep. And I'm gonna be real. I especially by me being a bartender and working many different places, and I'm gonna be real, especially in my younger years, I was around a lot more white people, and I definitely came across some racist people. But we still had some conversations. And they still tipped me. And then obviously I was a little fantasy black girl because they ain't never seen nobody as pretty as me. So that worked out too.
Yeah.
Can I touch your hair?
But yeah, you get that dumb stuff too.
Oh, yeah, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
Oh my God, your hair.
Yes. But I'm going to be real. The ones that I hated the most are the surreptitious racist white people. And I'm going to be real. I really think it speaks from Malcolm X. He said it. And I've seen it from them.
Right.
They'll go out to your marches. They'll do all of that. But we're not really going to get married to you. If something happens, I'm going to paint you to be the worst black person ever in life. And I've been through it.
I mean, the fake allies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The fake ones. Exactly. And they might even help us. They give to us. They'll do things for us. But at the end of the day, all of this is about their ego, their power, their control over whatever the situation that it is. They don't care anything about us.
They don't want to seem racist, though.
They don't want to say racist because that's not polite.
They don't want that in the
They
comments.
don't exactly.
They don't say, I'm not that person.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But yeah, let something go down. All of a sudden, I was the best person. I was I was the best person in the world. You know what I mean? And now I'm this. Oh, well, how did this happen? So you have to ask your question. You have to ask yourself that. So for me, as far as the divide is concerned, I just personally think he's an outsider. But then once you start getting into the Masonic, I mean, when you start getting these conspiracies, I believe that there's some truth to all of it. And I'm not gonna get that deep into it because I don't believe all of it either. Plus, on top of that, who's going to give you all that deep knowledge? Even some of these Masons that come out, I'll be like, oh, you rated up to the 33rd level?
Right.
And then you just, you coming out here talking, I don't know if I can believe that. But it's very interesting.
Like, I'll hear you, but...
yeah, exactly.
I mean, you can talk.
So you're going to tell me you went through all of that, and then now you just turn on them? Like, I don't know. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I definitely get it.
Yeah, but, yeah, so I think my main thing is just always ask why. Do your own research. I'm going to be real. This is definitely, like they said, the information age. So it's hard to streamline, whereas before you had to go to libraries. Everything was written. It can't be changed. When I was on the internet, this is why it's such a dangerous time, too. The first 2 months, all the information I was finding, I don't think that it was disturbed. Now I feel like it's being disturbed. And some of the things I would watch one day and then the next day it would be taken down.
Right. So
now you're like, well, why are they taking it down? Why don't they want us to talk about, these things, the 5G, why literally every time when it's somebody that you don't like, they literally do try to pull the race card on everything. And I will listen to all of my black speakers, even if you don't like them or you disagree, because at the end of the day, everybody does have a jewel. And I do believe that, people in general are just emotional and they play to that, And it's very hard. Like, I have a friend of mine that stopped talking to me just because I wanted to have a discussion about one of the controversial black leaders that are talking. Like, can we just talk about it?
Yeah, no.
He's like, if you want to, I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I thought that you were open-minded. That's not open-minded.
Yeah, you get a lot of people like that. You know what I mean? Like,
but you know what?
Then I'm not. Discussions is like, nah.
Just say that you don't want to talk out, and I'll be fine with it. But don't tell me that you're open. Don't tell me that you know everything, and I could tell you only getting it from one source. You're not even trying to even look at anything else.
Right.
Especially when you don't try to look at anything else. Like, so they
will hold that point from that one place they got the information and argue tooth and nail.
Exactly. That's why I like talking to my homie Bruce. I want to give a shout out. I don't know if you listening, because I knew he was listening last week and the last 2 weeks. But give a shout out to my homie Bruce. Like, we be going back and forth, and he is so for the Democrats, which is perfectly fine. But then I start going into the discussion of how that has affected black people. And as we can see, even every time the pendulum swings back, everything I've seen from Republicans is they want to make money.
Yeah,
to a certain extent, that kind of cancels the color aspect that we're dealing with. Because if everybody's just going after green, that's the only color anybody's going to care about.
Well, there's a few people that I know that, I mean, I won't mention their names, but they're voting for Trump for economic reasons.
Yes.
They really believe, like, this is like, all right, this ain't about race. It ain't about anything else but money. And they in a certain tax bracket, and Trump is for them, so I'm voting with Trump.
Yeah.
So anything else, I don't gotta hear.
Yeah.
If you're gonna keep me in this certain tax bracket and help me as far as taxes and all this other stuff, that's who I'm riding with. And
Biden straight said he going to raise them taxes, but I'm gonna be real, he's going to have to, because all the trillions of dollars that he's taking out of the government.
See, that's another thing. I'm like, I hear that he wanted to raise taxes, but then I read somewhere else and I'm like, nah, he really ain't trying to raise taxes. So that's what I say. I myself have to do some more research as far, because I can't get into a real super political debate with somebody without doing all the research myself.
Yeah, you know, and I get it. That's why I'm not coming at you. I'm just saying my.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm like, I'm getting information from you right now. So I'm like, I ain't got all my eggs in the, you know what I mean. So in the back, I can't even think the words. But anyway, I'm like, I'm not gonna argue with that. So I'm just gonna listen and take all the information in, and then just go from there. You know what I'm saying? So like, I still like I said, with the Trump thing, my thing is the divide. Like, I don't like the divide that I believe he's causing. I do believe, I think he's racist. You know what I mean? With
I think it's more about bigotry, also being privileged, and also isolated.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of that and more prejudice. Because what happens a lot of times, people are more prejudiced. Money makes you elitist and separatist automatically. The real thing that we have a problem with is really class or money.
Right.
Yeah, that's really what the issue is. And then the people that are at least tell you, oh, he's racist against you, so that now you're fighting against them, so nobody's trying to get up here. Mm-hmm. That's basically what's going on. You know what I mean? So, because let's be real, when I look at the stuff that Trump has done, he did business with black people when supposedly black people wasn't getting loans. He gave it out. But he sees an opportunity as a businessman. I can respect that. Whether he cares about black people or not,
now, was he giving it to people that he knew couldn't pay back, or put us in a hole? Certain people he's giving loans out, no, they couldn't pay back, so we'll put them in a hole, mess up their credit, and mess up.
No, because I think he was doing private loans. That's probably where that private loan industry, and they're not going to give the money out to you if they think that you can't pay it back. It just wouldn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
That's one of the things I feel like I heard. No, he might have. Listen. When it comes to business, especially the New Yorkers, they're doing anything to make money, whatever they got to do. Now, Chris, you've been sitting over here. Did you want to say something?
No.
Okay.
I'm just taking everything.
Okay. Now, and when you're dealing in high stakes, and there aren't any laws for it, these people are really high-end level white-collar crime criminals, right? Because they know the laws, they know what they can and can't not do, and then you try to find a way to get around it or get through it without breaking the law. And that's how they get away with it. I remember I was in college, and I don't know if it's stocks or politics or economics or something. Anyway, this time we was talking about stock market, and we were talking about all the scams through the stock markets that happened. Mm-hmm. That's why a lot of the regulations, but that's how a lot of them got rich. So there was this one scam that I remember, and it actually came up maybe two times more in my life when I had heard about the story. Basically what it was some guys talking about it was going to be gold up in Canada. They basically put some gold flake all over the place and say, hey, look, everywhere there's gold. You got to invest in it. This is crazy. They like flying around with helicopters just dropping gold, like they say it's raining gold. Like, it was just insane. I don't know. I'm over exaggerating now. But basically, it just is they saying it was gold. Everybody invested in it. And then it ended up not being any gold.
Oh, wow.
And then what happened is then the company comes in and takes all their money out and take everybody else's money out. And so they said, I don't know if that stock is still around, but I think they said it was people having there's no money. Say you put $30 in stock and that was down to $2. It's no money. What would you even bother taking it out?
Right.
Your fees are probably going to be more than how it's going to be. But there have been so many scams throughout the years. But the thing is that, it's kind of legalized gambling. You're taking a chance, and that's the way it is. Plenty of people have not paid taxes or been, especially if you even dabbled in real estate, they depreciate all the time. Some of the stuff that they're trying to spin and saying that he's a bad businessman and bankruptcy and all this kind of other stuff. When he talks about the hotel and how he supposedly got the money from his dad, then I think bankrupted or something like that, and then the city or state or somebody had to pay him for it. Like, it was great. That's genius. That's what you're supposed to do. But from the outside looking in, it looks like he's a bad businessman. Everything. Like, all he does is bankrupt. Don't get me wrong. Bankruptcy is more of an ethical thing, I guess. That would be wrong. But let's be real. He made money. That's what you're in business for, to make money. If you got to figure out some way, and technically somebody's not getting hurt, that's how they look at it. And plus, they're so far removed. Now, the prime, subprime loans is what hurt everybody, and that's probably what you were thinking about when I had brought that up.
Maybe. I think with him though, I think they're saying like he's trying to run the country as a business, and that's what kind of is hurting the situation right now.
But you have to ask yourself if I was planning on passing the baton to somebody else so that they can make sure that our plan that we were working on for 30, 50 years is going to go into effect, and here somebody else comes out and alley-oops or pushes it out my hand, or takes the baton and starts running with it. What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to get me and my squad try to get my baton, my money back, or whatever you got. You see what I'm saying? Exactly. So you have to take into consideration that it just can't all be Trump raising up all of these racist people. You know what I mean? It has to be people trying to fight to get their power back, because he is pulling out all the armies from all over the world. I do believe that he probably doesn't understand foreign policy, which I'm sure even with me just researching this a little bit that I'm getting.
I know I don't.
This has to be
politics.
Yeah, this is vast. That's why as a president, they have so many people working different departments, and they all come to him and tell him what it is, and all they do is brief. Like that's kind of what he does.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then he probably just tries to figure out what power he has, and then tell him, listen, we need to figure out how to do that. And somebody does. Yeah, exactly. He's the CEO of the country. Running as a business, I don't think is a bad thing.
No, I like to hype with that CEO of the country.
Yeah, he is. He is. You say he's running like a business,
right?
So, I think that I don't know. What makes me nervous the most is seeing these theories, because some things I don't want to say is just totally conspiracy. Mm-hmm. Because conspiracy has such a negative connotation to it, but that's actually what a detective does. When they try to figure out a murder, they figure out the conspiracy on why or motive or whatever. You piece it all together. That's what detectives do. That's a conspiracy. But since it has such a negative connotation, it makes you mentally just write that person off. Mm-hmm. When a lot of these things have actually, things that people have been talking about for years are actually coming to light now.
Right.
So then it makes you question, were all these people back then wrong? I mean, we as Black people know plenty of conspiracy theories against us. Mm-hmm. So why wouldn't we believe something like that?
Right.
Easily. And for me, naturally, by me being, at times, I've been an underdog. I've seen how people created rumors against me or other people. I've seen things. I've seen things that just don't make sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? And makes you ask questions. And if I have to ask a question, then that, for me, that means is either nothing can be all right or all wrong until you can get straight to the truth. And unless I could sit up here and speak directly to Trump and he's going to open up everything to me, I'll never know.
Which will never happen.
But what I will say is this. With this, whole Bill Gates situation, and if you can't look at this and see that this is obviously, this is a level up on technology, but what's happening is everybody's making that. So I want to put this out to everybody who's listening to me right now.
Yeah, y'all listening?
Put your money, listen. And that's another discussion I had with somebody that didn't want to talk to me. I said, you always want to sit up here and point your finger at the Republicans and they want to make money and Trump want to make, you know what? Tell me how to make some money. You know what I mean? If you see that they're going to go in here with pharmaceuticals, put your money on pharmaceuticals. If you see that they're going to mess with the stock, put your money in stock markets. You know what I mean? You need to follow what they're doing so that you can make money the same way they are.
Right.
If you see their team making money, there's really no way of stopping you from making some money. You ain't going to make what they make because they put $1 million or $2 million down because they know it's a grand slam.
Why you put hundreds?
Yeah, but whatever. Prime example, I just was playing around with this because they had it on Cash App. I was like, oh, this is cute. So I could do the stocks on Cash App now. And so I just put a couple dollars, $20 here, $20 here. But actually, if I put real money on some of these pharmaceuticals, I would have had almost a 30% return on some of them days.
Okay.
That's huge. No, I'm just saying that percentage-wise, I have a 30%. Right now, I think I'm at 20, maybe down to 18%. That's a huge return in a month.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So if I would have put $2,000-$3,000 or something like that.
Yeah, but who got that money to kind of risk it?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the issues.
But you could still do it if you had, like for me, that's why when I had I was like, I gotta get something that's steady because everything I've ever done, I'll get big chunks or is in cash. So especially being a promo model was never regular enough until probably around April to December. Mm-hmm. And then you stop working in December, January, February, March. I'm not getting no checks, but I'm still getting my checks from because it's about a 2 to 3 month cycle.
Right.
So I'll probably still get checks January, February. And then January, February, March, April, May. I'm starving. You see what I'm saying? I'm starving because I gotta pay. And most of my rent it was higher in the wintertime because of all the electric I had to use for heating.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like literally starving. So if I wanted to and then my checks are coming in sporadically because sometimes it might be in a week, sometimes it's 30 days, sometimes it's 90 days. So that was like a lot of the issues I would be having. So but then when you get that money, you want to put it towards other things. So like when I tell people, I'm like, listen, if you got a regular job, $50 a week, you know full well you probably anybody that's talking to me and y'all smoke weed or something like that, you ain't got no excuses. If you have something that you do 4, 5, 6 days a month and just sacrifice one day. Sometimes let's think about when you go out, you probably spend $100, $200. You could do that every month.
Yeah,
and then have a 20-30% return.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Do that. I see a lot of people starting to get into it. It's like called Robinhood.
Robinhood, Acorns, Betterment.
I honestly, I got like 2 free stocks on Robinhood. Like I didn't put any money on it. It's still even or whatever. Yeah, but I do this thing called Acorn though. Like Acorn.
I like Acorn, but I don't have my cards. I gotta set that up again.
Oh yeah, man. I did Acorn starting like last year, and I guess like the way it works is I'm not doing stocks through Acorn. I'm just doing if you buy something for like 79 cents, they'll add 21 cents to make it a even dollar, and then put that to your bank account. I mean, so it's kind of like you're saving money
towards the stock, right?
Well,
Acorn I think does that.
It's just going to my bank account. I'm not. They do have a stock for that. I'm not doing the stock aspect. You might be doing the stock aspect for but I'm not doing the stock aspect for that. But it's like, I mean, if you buy something with $1 and you put the change in like a jar, that's the change
that's your savings.
That's just your savings. Yeah. But what I do with Acorn, I have it multiplied by 5 and 10. So if it's 20 cents, they'll multiply the 20 cents by 5, and then that's a whole $1. And so it's been saving me a ton of money.
Yeah, you don't realize how much that little bit of change. My God. When you scan, and you look, it's like, wow, $30.
Yeah, like exactly.
I mean, but it sounds small, but it's $30 a week extra that you didn't calculate or whatever it might, drum up to be. But yeah, I want to tell you some of the stocks that I put my money on. I mean, everybody knows it, but I'm gonna tell you the stocks that's been up for last like maybe a week or two. Peloton, Moderna, Tesla.
Yeah.
Obviously Amazon, Tesla, and then honestly anything Bill Gates, because he's got like 9 labs. He literally owns or funds at least another 11 nonprofits. You see what I'm saying? Mm. And then when you start going into the vaccine, that's why I don't really like the vaccines. And when you see how much money these people have, why aren't you going in there creating clean water? Right?
Right.
Why aren't you going in and just cleaning up? Why don't you just start a new industry? Why do you have to go in there and shoot everybody up?
Yeah.
Then when you start to think about like the autism, and then when you start looking at how in China they had SARS, they were working on this to see what could be when they had the Ebola outbreak. Like they're testing all around the world. They were testing for this before this happened. Like if you can't see it, like how you want to have people in the lab working with dangerous diseases and they never get a chance to try it out? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, I just don't. It's impossible. This is why you have them little. Yeah, the H1N1, 17,000 people died, but that was small, and that's what they. That's a small casualty for them to find out what the H1N1 is going to do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I think I remember there was what was it? It was actually a vaccine that was banned here in America, and they sent it over to Africa, and also down I think Mexico or one of them places the people speak Spanish. All them little girls ended up going crazy.
From what they sent down there that was banned here?
Yeah. Mm. You know what I mean? That polio, talk about he eradicated it. It barely was any before he even went in there. It was a problem.
Right.
But then he killed 500,000 people with that vaccine. Okay, so it's eradicated. Like, ugh. And then you got the African, like, I can't even. So, but stop! I'm like, I hear my voice.
I was like, why do I hear this?
So let's go back to the stocks because we only got 10 minutes left. So Adobe, Microsoft, Vertex Pharmaceuticals, Apple, Abbott, MasterCard, Uber, Pfizer, Alphabet. I think that's Google, and then Regeneron only because the president spoke about that, and I do have it on some other ones, but they actually been down AstraZeneca because I think that's under Johnson & Johnson, and their testing actually messed up.
Do you have like parts in all, like a little something?
It's just a little, but the thing about Cash App, so most people have Cash App, which is great. I'm sure that you've seen it. Mm-hmm. You could put, I think, as low as $5. Yeah. So it's micro. You're not going to see a return, but what happens is it starts to get you into the mindset of looking, being conscious of these things, and then obviously I can invest in more stocks on this than I can with, unless I got like 10,000 to do a spread of $500 to $1,000 on each thing. Yeah, exactly. Right. I don't have that because every time I get money, I got to invest it in myself for something else. So so I just take a little bit. I just wanted to see what was going to happen. Now, honestly, when I do my tax, I don't know how this is going to hurt because typically when you buy and sell stocks, they charge you.
So when you do your taxes,
huh?
You said when you do your taxes.
Yeah, when I do my tax, because I got. So say I take it out now, I'm like, if I take it when I'm like $220 or something like that, like it's not a lot on here because I just wanted to try this out to see how it works.
Right.
But I also wanted to try it because I didn't know because usually when you buy and sell a stock, they charge you a fee. I don't know how much they're going to charge you, or if it's waived just because so much money is being transacted through Cash App. So now that's what I'm assuming.
I have a question about
which I need,
stocks.
But you know how it is. You sign up for it. But I'm gonna be real. They just added it, and I don't even think I've seen like a disclaimer or nothing.
See, what I don't understand about stock. Like I said, I haven't done it. Like I got these free ones or whatever. So say I sign up for a stock, and I add $100, and whatever I put it into, it makes money. Say it give me a return of $1,000 or whatever, right? Say the next day it dips. Now, and I lose not just the $1,000 that I made, the $100 that I put in. Now, do it go like if they lose so much, will they be able to take money past that $100 that I invested? Like if I put $100 for this, please.
All right, because basically, okay, so let's just say the stock costs $10. You put 100, that means you bought 10 shares.
Right.
Right. So then you had a return of, I guess, 100%. I don't know. Anyway, you made $1,000. So technically, you made 1,100 or you made 900.
Or whatever, but I leave it in there.
Yeah.
Right. So then the next day, whatever stock it was, it plummets. Really plummets.
Yeah.
Not just to the point. To the point that I lose all that money. Now, would I lose just what I invested? Or if they can start coming from my house? Yeah,
because basically you bought a stock for $10. Mm-hmm. It shot up to $100 a share. So if that stock goes down to $7, you lost $3.
Okay, I get that part.
Okay,
I just don't get to the. I just didn't understand if the share drops down, like I don't know, whatever, zero, negative, whatever, and it just plummets. To a point, am I only losing what I invest, or would it start coming for other money that I didn't even invest? That's where I mean.
Well, it depends on if you short a stock. Now that's something different.
Okay.
And basically, that's kind of like you could hedge. It's different. I don't know everything, but from what I know, so you can make money when the stock market goes down. Because so. Say you buy the stock at
my territory, by the way. So
no, I got you. So say you now I don't know that, but it was crazy because somebody had to break it. It's like no, I was like okay, so you telling me if I buy a $10 share, shoots up to 100, I made $90, but if it goes down to like $1, I lost $9 and I have to pay that. If I shorted the stock, but that's a whole different.
Where I'm at.
But that's a whole different beast of how to do the stock market. I'm telling you right now, that's something different. It's like you using money you don't have and shit.
Right. That's
stuff like that.
That's where I'm at. I'm like, yo, I'm lost.
Never mind. You ain't even listening. You're supposed to dump that dude. It's too late now. You just dump it. Anyway.
I gotta do something.
All right, so, but no. I'm not the stock expert. One of these days, I'll have somebody that can do that. But I just know a little bit. And typically, what I tell everybody else, the same thing. With Warren Buffett, he gives good sound advice. There are going to be stocks that are never going to go away. We know at least 10 of them because we use them every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Other stocks are obviously gambles when you start dealing with smaller companies. But the companies that are not going away is obviously, at least not within the next 10 years, is obviously Amazon, obviously Tesla, obviously Johnson & Johnson, obviously, these companies. So, yeah, you put a little bit in. You save that for when you retire. Those are the stuff you save for when you retire. But obviously, when you're younger, you should be a little bit more aggressive, right, whether starting a business or investing in startup businesses. And, yeah, there are a lot of them. And even one of the guys, I actually went to go see him speak, which is funny. But then he actually, one of the, what was it? The Lions, not the Lions, the Sharks people. The one with the blue eyes that sit around and he always have his hair. He does
Shark Tank.
Shark Tank. He does like the security. Anyway, they had it through Instagram where they got like a something where you could just invest $50 for startups, which is great. Mm-hmm. Think about it. If you got an extra $150 a month, $200 a month, you could just put $50 down. They were showing that some of these companies, if back when you did invest just $50, like you literally could have made like ridiculous amounts of money. Like it was, yeah. So crazy. I'm actually looking at, and then also you can get to look at some of these stocks. I like that they did this. You can look at some of these stocks. Mm-hmm. And you can see how some of them, when you go look at it, it's like, oh wow, this thing shot up almost 3,000%. This, since the whole time, Peloton was only 400%. Okay, so 400% if you put in $50, what is that? You see what I'm saying?
Right, if it jumped.
Yeah, it jumped. Right. It's in certain things I was looking at, it's like 3,000, 4,000%. There are some ridiculously overpriced stocks.
Right.
So. The only thing you can do is just look at it. But I know we're short for time, so I do want to. I could be rambling on forever.
Listen, I was listening.
But yeah. So what I want to do right now is there anything else you want to talk about? We want to have somebody come on and support you. Where can they find you at?
Yeah, y'all can come check me out on Instagram. Y'all can follow me at Philly Road Squad Fitness. Mike Davis on Facebook. Because of everything that's going on, I don't have anything planned as far as being on stage, which singing is like one of my number one things. The Who This Band, so make sure y'all check. Look, I have a couple things on the Who This Band has a few things on YouTube, so y'all can check those out. But right now, I'm just like in the lab, just getting all that stuff together. I want to get all that together. Like I said, I'm working with Q and Park Entertainment. I'm working with Gabrielle Nicole as far as the Lifetime of Harmony project. So I have there's a couple other things that I'm working on that I can't talk about as far as my acting and singing. But I am getting ready for this upcoming year. So check me out, Mike Davis on Facebook and Philly Road Squad Fitness, because me and my wife are doing this fitness journey. It's a journey. Like I was in shape, then was out of shape, in shape. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's definitely a journey. But you know what I mean?
You definitely are the Luther.
Oh,
of Philly.
Exactly. Big Luther, little Luther. You know what I mean? Like, so you know what I mean?
It's just a lot more to love. That's all.
Hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I mean, definitely check us out. Like y'all can see some of that stuff on Philly Road Squad Fitness page. And and I put some of my music stuff up as well when the time is right. So just keep looking out for that. Okay.
And you can go to my page, Persia Sound, PersiaSound. Pretty much, if you put that in, you'll find me on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. And some random music sites you might find me on. But you can definitely check me out. And if you get on Instagram, you'll be able to see the link so that you can actually follow Mike and Mike Davis. I was about to say Pender, but Mike Davis. And
Mike Pender.
I know I had
shout out to Mike Pender. I know. I was watching Mike. Mike Pender.
So you can definitely and see some of our past co-hosts that I had on, you could definitely check them out and see what they're about. Most of the people that I'm working, well, at least inviting right now, is just definitely people that I worked with for years, or or known them for years, or worked on different projects in the past, or they have something going on now, and I just want to let everybody know. So
that's right.
So with that said, Chris, you got anything you want to say?
No, not really.
I want to thank you for having me. I truly appreciate it. It's really good catching up with you.
Yes, definitely.
Just got one thing to say. Next few weeks, just make sure to go out and vote.
Yeah.
Definitely go out and vote, y'all. Definitely go out and vote.
Definitely go out and vote. I don't know. Can we do early? Some stuff been coming across my timeline talking about voting early. Though.
I'll be voting tomorrow at our Overbrook School. Overbrook High School.
Is that for anybody?
And they say anybody. I think because I live in West Philly,
mm-hmm.
I can go there, but I'm not sure if it's like you can go anywhere. I know when I called, they gave me 3
So who did you call? Because
oh my God, I don't know. Actually, they called me. I don't even remember the number. They called me.
Oh, the Democrats looking for. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my text messages. Anyway, this is the Persia Sound show, and we is out, baby.
Yeah, they called me and gave me a couple places where I can go vote. They're like, listen, just bring your ID and you can just vote.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'll be going tomorrow.
Which is honestly, I think that's how they should do it anyway. Like all that one day, I'm like, how you got the whole country one day? But then they said certain states will do like a couple of days. Did you see what down south they?
Georgia?
Oh God!
Oh my God!
They were talking about 6 hours to vote. Like it's
6 hours. Yeah, they said it was crazy. Thousands.
But that happens every year though.
And especially down there. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, they say you can come and it's not. It's a pencil and paper. Like use pencil and paper and you fill in with pencil and paper and drop it in.